Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Competitive Edge Real Estate Report. My name is Barry Overton, and I am your host today. And like I do each week, I'm bringing you information that you probably wouldn't normally get from in the real estate industry, but that's going to give you the edge, that's going to give you the advantage. Whether you're a buyer, whether you're a seller, whatever the case may be, it's important in this crazy real estate market that we're in to have the competitive edge. Well, today is no different. I have information for you today that if you're in the buyers category and this crazy sellers market, you gotta have the edge. And what if I can show you a way that your offer outshines all the other offers that are coming across a seller's desk? Let me share with you how we're going to do that. But let me first introduce you to the gentleman that's going to tell you exactly how he and his company have found a way to be able to do just that. His name is Shane Day. He is the owner and founder of DayOne Mortgage. And again, they're making a huge impact right here in the Colorado market by helping buyers to get that competitive edge. He has over 20 years of real estate experience, so he knows exactly what he's doing. And he's built a huge organization of team members that are just in a place of wanting to help as many people as they possibly can. So ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, Mr. Shane Day, how you doing, sir?
So excited to be here, Barry. Thank you for having me on the show.
Absolutely. This was one that I've been really excited about because, we hear about turning a buyer into a cash buyer, but you are actually doing it. You have a program that is in a position to be able to help people do that. And I got to tell you, as a realtor that works with a lot of buyers, it gets emotional for buyers when they put that offer in and they found that dream home and they get beat by, higher appraisal gaps, or maybe there's a cash buyer that's in there. So now being able to have a solution of being able to turn a buyer into a cash buyer is really exciting to me as a real estate agent. But can you tell us a little bit more about the program?
Yeah. You touched on so many really important points. And I think ultimately what we're trying to do as a financial or lending institution is how do we come up with some solutions to the challenges that exist? There are people that are out getting fatigued, as you mentioned. They're writing 30 to 60 offers and they're just tired. They are paying significantly more than the asking price, of course, because the market bears it. And they're just, I think the overall emotional state is decreased in this process. And so this particular product gives people the ability to be 4 to 5 times more likely at going under contract. That's a big number. And, when we talk about it, I think overall, you can have a buyer fully approved up front. You can educate them on all the options and set some expectations and really manage, the future, like, with regard to a property and what it might appraise for or what they might have to pay to get it to go under contract. And that's great. But if they continually lose on offers submitted, it becomes painful, not only for you as a realtor, but for them as the consumer, most importantly. And I think this product just gives people the ability to have the cash in their hand and show through their bank statement that they have the funds and be able to purchase that property in a short period of time, typically somewhere between, on average 10 to 15 days, and just elevate to the seller and to the listing agent that they're a real buyer and they should be considered for this offer.
Yeah. And I know there's cash buyer programs that are out there where it's usually a third party's lender per se that makes the purchase, and then they come back and do the loan for the actual buyer after the fact. This program is a little different than that though, right?
Yeah, it is. I'm really glad you bring that up. So there are many cash offer programs out there, and I think it's important for everybody to know that they're not all structured the same. They're not all in favor of, you being able to win the offer successfully, and some of them are very expensive. So this particular program is at a cost to the client of 1%. So that's really inexpensive. And what this one is it gives the power to the client. So the client's the one that's actually buying the property. A lot of the cash companies today are buying the property for the client, and then they're selling it back to the client. I think that's challenging to some degree because ultimately the seller and the listing agent are having to make a decision on, do they want to sell to a company or do they want to sell to a buyer, to a consumer, to a real live person? And so this one really, I think, addresses that with regard to, it's not some major company that's buying it, it's the client. And the client's given the funds through this cash company, and the client's able to make some decisions, and I think be looked at differently, evaluated differently from the seller and from the listing agent.
Yeah, and I know there's probably that person out there that said, "Well, yeah, I knew there's got to be a cost to it. I'm going to have to pay something." But
Yeah.
man, 1%. Because me as a real estate agent, knowing that my clients are, when they're having to make appraisal gaps and pay over asking, they're doing 10, 15, 20%
Yeah.
over that original purchase price just to buy this property. So 1% is amazing.
Yeah, you bring up a really good point on that. The analysis that we've done on this is typically cash offers are between 1% and 2% below any financed offer. And so that's where we derive the cost, and if a client can pay a little bit less than they would if they were financing,
Mhm.
and have that, be a part of the transaction, 1% in order to use a cash offer is pretty significant.
Yeah.
Um, there's a couple caveats that I want to share too. And obviously you can call us for more information, but these buyers that are utilizing this program need to be able to put 10% down. So that's one thing that's really important with this product. They're conventional buyers, 10% down. And right now, those things are important to know. So we do fully approve a client up front. We prepare them so that they're clear. And the last thing that I want to have happen is a client goes out, makes an offer, is in love with a place, and we haven't set proper expectations, so they can't move forward because they just weren't clear. Like
Mhm.
that's really important that we're diligent up front to dot every I, cross every T, and make sure that every scenario is covered, because we're in the business of what if scenarios. Like, what's it look like if it turns out like this? So
Yeah, and that's great. I'm glad you shared that. One of the other questions I would have, and I'm sure that buyers are definitely concerned about this these days, are the interest rates. Are the interest rates going to still be just as competitive as what any other product that they would look at using?
I am so glad you're bringing that to attention. So the interest rates on this, think of it like this. So we are doing a refinance behind the cash transaction. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, it's really nice to pay back the cash company. We do a refinance, and the rates are identical to a purchase or refinance that would normally be. There's no additional cost from us. The only advantage to us as a lender is that we're providing a product through a cash company, and we have the opportunity to wow a client and to show them our services, our commitment levels, and provide them a lot of lending options as it relates to costs and rates. And it's an identical scenario as if we were not doing a cash offer.
All right. Shane, I really appreciate you for being here today. This was great information. I know this is going to benefit and help a lot of buyers just by being able to have access to a program like this. So I really appreciate you for being here today.
Yeah, thank you so much, Barry. I'm excited.
Absolutely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. If you are in the market to purchase and you don't want to be in those crazy bidding wars that we've been seeing for the past really 2 years now, we have the solution for you. And the solution is called DayOne Mortgage. Reach out to Shane and his team. Their information will be at the end of this video, and they are standing by and excited to serve you. So until next week, on the next episode, you have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you soon.